What's going on YouTube? This is yours truly, Dre the Plug, coming at you live with some more technical heat. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button below. Make sure y'all hit that bell button below so y'all can stay notified every single time I drop new technical heat. But let's get back into these interviews. Roll the clip.
Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Gerald Parker. I'm a Michigan State human biology graduate turned self-taught developer. I'm out here living in Chicago, currently working as a software developer for Cisco. I'm originally from Flint, Michigan. I have a lot of different passions, a lot of different hobbies, but more than anything, my goal is to try to get Black youth into programming. And so a lot of my initiatives, a lot of my hobbies are really geared toward that.
Okay, Gerald, so what got you into computer science?
So, like I said, I'm originally a human biology major. Went to Michigan State for that. And to be honest, I really didn't prepare for a job in the medical field after graduating college. And so I graduated, I moved out to Chicago, worked for a couple companies, a logistics company and an AT&T marketing firm. And then I got a job at a company called Oriental Motor, which was a Japanese motor manufacturer. And they really sold what they call sub-fractional horsepower motors. And so these are motors that go inside of like a conveyor belt or vending machine, and a lot of different applications for it. But while I was working for them, that was kind of the first time I got exposed to programming. And, my job was really to go out and, be a kind of a sales engineer consultant for, other engineering companies. But doing that exposed me to different types of programming. So growing up, I always played football, and I used to always have friends that would go out and throw me the football. And so while I was in this role, I started thinking man, what if you had a machine that could throw you the football? They have tennis machines, they have baseball machines, but no football machine. And so I put this down on paper. Fast forward a year later, I ended up getting a job as a pediatric sales rep, which is really what I had been working towards for the past year or so. So that ended up taking me to North Carolina, but I still wanted to build this machine. So I started actually building this machine from the ground up, learning 3D printing, electrical and mechanical engineering, and then of course the programming aspect of it as well, and got it to the point where I had a working prototype. And so, through that process, I learned a lot of different technologies. I actually had a startup reach out to me that was doing, pretty much the same thing. They were interested in bringing me on board. And so that encouraged me to, start learning programming even more. But ultimately, I ended up getting a job at Siemens as a software developer. And so it was almost I really didn't choose the field. I almost kind of it chose me, because I was really just pursuing an idea, and that led to developing new skills that paid off down the road.
All right, so what do you feel is the biggest benefit when it comes down to being in this field?
Without question, I think it's the amount of opportunities in the field. That's something I'm always preaching to people I know, always preaching on my Facebook, on my LinkedIn. It's just, there are so many opportunities for anyone that's interested in getting into programming. You have pretty much unlimited resources. I mean, when you consider YouTube, in addition to all of the other, programming websites, you have boot camps. Obviously, you have formal education, you have books. It's ridiculous. And you can make good money doing it. And so that's kind of the best thing you could hope for is, something where you can basically pick up a skill without having to invest a ridiculous amount of money into it, but then end up making a good amount of money. So that's definitely the best thing about this industry.
Okay, so what's something that you did not expect jumping into this field?
Honestly, I hate to use the same answer again, but honestly, it was the opportunities. I consistently am getting messages on LinkedIn from recruiters that are reaching out because of some technology that I work with at Siemens or some programming language that I'm using at Cisco. And so, I knew that there were opportunities in the field, but I don't think I anticipated that the demand would be so large. And, if you look at, any credible source, it would tell you the demand is only expected to increase in the coming years. And so whether that be in cybersecurity, whether that be in technologies like augmented reality, virtual reality, blockchain. To me, that was like the biggest surprise.
Okay, so what made you want to, create your own tech YouTube channel?
Well, so as I mentioned earlier, like I'm passionate about trying to get Black people into programming. And I feel like a YouTube channel is kind of like the easiest, most straightforward way that I could do that. And so that's the first thing. It's kind of like I don't have to wait to join some organization or be a part of some other initiative. I had the opportunity to kind of start that myself. The second one, and maybe I should say it's on par with the first one, but was really to bring in some extra income. Like I'm an ideas person, and like I'm always trying to think of additional ways that I can, generate more revenue. And like a lot of the ideas that I'm interested in pursuing take some type of money to even, pursue that. And so the way I looked at it was, I have an opportunity to kind of fulfill two needs at once, teach others programming, but also kind of build up my own brand and pursue my own projects in the process. And so this is just kind of one outlet or one, I guess, platform that allows me to do that. And another answer or another like reason I'll add on to the, why I'm doing the YouTube channel is like, I have found out in the process of doing it that it really helps you to like get a lot more credibility in the field. Honestly, that wasn't originally one of the reasons I wanted to do it, but it's kind of like, within Cisco, even among my colleagues, it's kind of actually taken on a life of its own. Like a lot of people will have seen my videos, and there's some people that for whatever reason even heard I was doing TED Talks, which is not the same thing. But like in this process, just in speaking with people, it's almost like once they hear that, oh, you're doing programming YouTube videos, like you must know what you're talking about. And so that's the reason that I will continue to do them for sure.
Okay, so what advice would you give to a viewer who, never been into programming, never had any experience, and now, they're looking into actually becoming a programmer and learning how to code? What's some advice that you would give to them?
So the best advice that I could give is actually a couple things. One is to stick with it. Like that's crucial. Like basically programming is the ability to solve a bunch of small puzzles. And so the nature of programming is that you are going to hit a roadblock at some point and you will be stuck. But that's what separates like, average developers from great developers are, the ability to kind of work their way through that issue. And you don't have to do it alone. There are a ton of different resources online, like there are a ton of forums, Facebook groups, there's Stack Overflow. Honestly, like at least 50% of being a good developer is actually being an expert at Googling stuff. I'm serious about that. And so, like I said, stick with it and then find a way to study that works for you. So for example, for me, I was able to pick up programming in a relatively short amount of time because I spent ridiculous amounts of time doing it. And I was working on a project that I actually enjoy. Like I was fueled by that. And so if you're really serious about programming, my advice would be find something that you are actually passionate about, that you actually want to build, because if it's not fun, you won't stick with it. And then the last part is try to find a way to develop like good study habits. Like I'm a big fan of like visualization tools or flashcards. Like I was constantly doing that. Even today, like I'm constantly creating flashcards to test me on different technologies or languages that I'm learning. And so, like I said, stick with it, find a way that, helps you to learn quickly, and then, make sure that you're actually doing something that's actually fun, so you'll be motivated.
Okay, so what's some resources that, you would give to some of the viewers out there that help, become a better programmer?
Man, there's so many resources. So first and foremost, I'm going to tell them my YouTube channel. That's the first place you can learn programming. But outside of that, there are literally thousands of other programming YouTube channels to help you with, whatever language you want to learn. And then you have, other educational platforms where you can purchase courses, and some of them are actually for free. But you have sites like Udemy, Udacity, Pluralsight, Free Code Camp. I mean, it's so many. And so I would definitely find a platform where you can, subscribe to courses, or, a platform where you really like the way that, a certain instructor teaches. And then you also have like community groups that are geared towards helping people get into programming. So specifically when I talk about getting, Black people into programming, you have organizations like BIT, which is Blacks in Technology. Then you have BUILT, which is actually another group that was once associated with BUILT, which is Blacks United in Leading Technology. You have Black Girls Code. And so just spend time online, like looking for those resources, because there are organizations that are here to, increase the representation of Black people in programming.
Okay, Gerald, so what's your contact information so people could stay in touch, and if they want to get into programming, they could actually reach out to you. So just give them that contact information.
The primary platform where people could find me right now is on YouTube. And so my name on YouTube is Esoteric Tech. And then if they want, they can connect with me on LinkedIn. That's under my just regular name, Gerald Parker. And then also I'll be creating a Esoteric Tech Instagram page and Twitter page in the coming weeks here. So just follow me, subscribe to my channel on YouTube, and feel free to reach out to me. I'm always responsive. Hopefully it continues to stay that way as my subscribers go up. But for right now, I'll pretty much respond to every comment that people post. So feel free to reach out.
And that concludes this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. It really do help my channel when it comes down to the YouTube algorithm. If you guys have any questions regarding anything, just hit me up on Instagram, hit me up on the gram at DreDaPlug123. And then also go check out my other YouTube channel. This is actually my second channel. My first one was called ClassicCuts. I basically go in and give tutorials about all types of different haircuts. I actually show people how to do different type of things with the clippers that has never been done. And I pretty much go into detail as to why certain things happen. So definitely go check out that channel. Besides that, be on the lookout for my next content that's dropping. Be on the lookout for it because it's coming real soon. And I'm out.